Chittavritti. So this is chapter on Vitti.
Which chapter?
This is chapter 4. Chapter 4. Yes. So remember Vitti? So what is a Vitti? Definition of Vitti maybe? Huh?
The process of consciousness.
Okay, a mental process, right? Mental process. So we could say maybe sometimes we use these terms like a chain of consciousnesses, specific consciousnesses, like a chain of consciousnesses that arise or that arises, the chain arises, the process, chain or process that arises due to what? Due to the strike, maybe the impingement of an object. The strike of an object to, maybe let's put a door, to one of the 6 doors, okay? To one of the 6 doors. Actually, sometimes there is misakata, right? It impinges on 2. So the object strikes on the doors. Remember, if it strikes one of the 5 doors, it also strikes the mind door. So what are the 6 doors? 6 dwara, important. We have Chakku dwara, right? Chakku dwara, Sota dwara, Ghana dwara, Jivha dwara, Kaya dwara, and Mano dwara. Okay. Which of these are material? Material dwaras.
There are 5.
5 material dwaras. These are 5 material dwaras. And this is immaterial dwara. Remember? Mano dwara is the Bhavanga chitta. It's a chitta. Mano dwara. Right? Okay. So for this chapter, dwaras are important. Other things are important are vinyanas. What are the 6 vinyanas? You know you have 6 sixes? 6 sixes, no? 6 sixes, 6 vijnana. I don't know the order, but 6 vijnanas, 6 dwaras, 6 vatus, 6 aramanas, 6 vitis, and you have 6 Visaya Bhavati. Visaya, double B. Bhavati. Right? 6 sixes. Yeah, please turn it on. Read that again, please. Page 24. So 6 vijnana. What are the 6 vijnana? Okay. Chakku vijnana, Sota vijnana, Ghana vijnana, Jivha vijnana, Kaya vijnana, and Mano vijnana. So what are these realities in terms of realities? Chakku vijnana, 2 chittas, right? 2 chittas are Chakku vijnana. Right? Yes. Chakku vijnana. Sota vijnana also 2 chittas. So the same. Chakku, Sota, Ghana, Jiva, and Kaya Vinyanas. They are 10 chittas, 10 Vinyanas. Dve Pancha Vinyanas, right? So, Mano Vinyana is what? What is Mano Vinyana? The remaining Vinyanas. The remaining Vinyanas except Dve Pancha Vinyana. Okay? 6 vijnana. You have Chakku vijnana. Chakku vijnana, there are 2 chittas, right? And then Sota Ghana Jivakaya. And then Mano vijnana. Mano vijnana is 79 chittas, you see? Because 10 vijnana, Chakku Sota Ghana Jivakaya, 2 each. The remaining are 79. Okay? These are the vijnanas. Okay. Dwaras we have just done. Vatus, what are the 6 vatus? Chakku vatu, Sota vatu, Ghana vatu, Jiva vatu, Kaya vatu, Hadaya vatu. Yes. Hadaya vatu is material or immaterial? Huh? Huh? Hadaya vatu. Material. Supabasu. No. Dwaras are all immaterial. All immaterial. Sorry. Dwaras are all immaterial. Vatus are all material. All material. Dwaras are material and immaterial. Okay? Vatu is the seat of consciousness, like the throne of the king. Okay? It's a material thing. Okay? It's rupa. Okay. Aramana, what are the 6 aramana? Not chakka aramana, right? Rupa ramana, Sota ramana, Ghana ramana, Gandha ramana, Rasa ramana, Pottabha ramana, and then Dhamma ramana. Right? Okay. What is Dhamma ramana? Everything except the other 5. The other 5 of the 5 gochara, right? Okay, the aramanas. So these are the vijnanas. Aramanas here are Rupa ramana. And then these are easy to remember. Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, right? Then Dhamma ramana. Dhamma ramana. So Rupa ramana, among the first 5 are the 7 Gochara Rupas, right? Okay? So everything else is Dhamma ramana. Okay? So then you can just make up the list. Chittas, Chetasikas, 21 Rupas, and Nibbana Panyati. Dhammarama, right? Okay, Dhammaramana. So these are aramanas. Vittis, now vittis. So vittis, you can name them according to different ways. You can give them names. Many times we use Visayapavati to give a name. We'll discuss the Visayapavati. Sometimes we use Dwara many times to use the name. According to Dwara, for example, Chakku Dwara Viti, Sota Dwara Viti, Ghana Dwara Viti. So according to Dwara. Sometimes according to Vijnana, sometimes according to the chittas that arise. Okay? Sometimes even just one chitta gives the name of the Viti. Okay? But we can say 6 Vittis, you can normally say Chakku Dwara Viti, Sota Dwara Viti, Ghana Dwara Viti, Jiva Dwara Viti, Kaya Dwara Viti, and Mano Dwara Viti, according to the 6 Dwaras. Okay? 6 Vittis. So according to Dwara, easy to remember, right? Okay, what are 6 Visayapavati? Visaya is like an object, right? Visaya? Visaya is like an objective field, you could say in English, or an object. So the object of consciousness. So these objects, not only they are various objects, we have already studied the objects, for example, these are the objects, okay? But they appear to consciousness in different ways. They are manifest in different ways, or they are, or consciousness experiences them in different ways. So these become 6 Visayapavati. So Visayapavati, six Visayapavati. It's like the 6, maybe 6 ways an object is experienced by consciousness. By consciousness. or is manifest to consciousness. Okay? His experience is manifest to consciousness. Visayapavatis. So, Visayapavati depends on the dwara. If it's Pancha Dwara, so we have the 6 Vitis, no? 6 Vitis. Let's put them here. This you need very clear now. According to Dwara, we'll name them now. According to Dwara, so Chakku, Dwara, Viti. Okay, don't forget the most important word, Viti. Okay, Chakku Dwara Viti, Sota Dwara Viti, Ghana Dwara Viti, Jiva Kaya, and then Mano Dwara Viti. Okay. Now these 5, the first 5 are Pancha Dwara Viti, right? Pancha Dwara Viti. Okay. Okay, easy. Now, for Pancha Dwara Vitis, we have 4 Visayapavati. 4 Visayapavati. For Manodwara Viti, we have 2 Visayapavati. Okay? Now, to show you these 4, we could just discuss what they are, but I'll start drawing the VTs, and I think it will be easier. Okay. So, now Panchadwara Viti, okay? Remember we discussed already how Rupa Ramana, the Vanna of a Kalapa. What is Rupa Ramana? The Vanna Rupa, remember? Vanna Rupa? Can you hear me? Vanna Rupa, do you remember? What is Rupa Ramana? Vanna Rupa, remember? In one Kalapa, we have Avinibhoga Rupas, right? You know, in one Kalapa, one Rupa Kalapa has a minimum of 8 Rupas, right? Minimum of 8 Rupas. It's like a Chittupada, remember? Also has a certain minimum number of Namas, also 8. Chitta and 7 Chittasikas, that's the minimum, right? So Rupa also has this 8. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Vanna, Gandha, Rasa, Oja. So Vanna is what we are calling Rupa Ramana. So Vanna Rupa, okay? Vanna Rupa is Rupa Ramana. Okay, Rupa Ramana. So this is one of the Rupas in the Kalapa. Now, this Rupa, remember, we have Kamaja Kalapa in the eye, which is sensitive to this Rupa. Particularly one Rupa, which is sensitive to this Vanna Rupa, which is the Pasada. Remember? Pasadas. Chakku Pasada, Sota, Ghana, Jiva, and Kaya Pasada. Right? Okay? So we discussed when Rupa Ramana, the Vanna of Akalapa, impinges, strikes on the Chakku Pasada, which is sensitive to that, then it's striking, we can say it is striking the eye door, because the Chakku Pasada is also the Chakku Dwara, right? Remember, Chakku Dwara, Chakku Pasada, Chakku Vatu is all the same reality, but not Chakku Vijnana. Chakku Vijnana is the Chitta. Okay? So when Rupa Ramana strikes Chakku Pasada, it also strikes the mind door, Misaka Dwara. It strikes 2 at the same time. Like a bird, when he lands on a branch, a bird comes flying and he lands on a branch. At the same time, his shadow also touches the ground. It happens simultaneously. So simultaneously, the Chakku Dwara and the Mano Dwara are impinged. And then the Bhavanga Chittas, remember, which is the Mano Dwara, come to a halt. Stop. In order for the mind to turn to this object and be able to see it and process it and think about it, right? So then the process occurs, right? So we have, for example, bhavanga chitta. And then when the object strikes, remember we have chalana, right? So here these names are important. Let's put them here maybe. Bhavanga, right? Bhavanga. And then we have na, which is chalana. This is also a bhavanga. Okay? But this is the bhavanga which was the moment of impingement, right? Okay, chalana. And then upacheda, what? Atita. Atita is to show atita. This is atita bhavanga. Atita bhavanga is to show when the object and the vatu arose. Not impinged. Before the impingement. Okay? Atita. You will understand now with the VTs. And then upacheda. Cheda, da. You see, da. Okay? Chalana is na. Okay? Bhavanga is bh over here. Okay? Atita is ti. Okay? Atita bhavanga. And then we have PA, which is panchadwara vajana. Okay? Remember this chitta, dwara avajana. And then we have, for example, chakkuvinyana. Chakkuvinyana. And then we have sota vinyana, you understand. Ghana with an H vinyana. Jiva vinyana. Kaya vinyana. And then we have sampatichana. Sampatichana. Santirana is SN. You see SP. You see SP. Santirana. Santirana, investigating. SN. Okay? Santirana, Sampatichana, Santirana. And then we have Votapana chitta. Remember? VO. Votapana. And then we have Javanas. J. Javana chittas. We have already discussed all these functions. Javanas. And then we have Tadaramana TD. Tadaramana. After Tadaramana, Bhavanga. And then we also have Manodwara Vajana. Okay, MA. Manodwara Avajana. Sometimes we also have Kama Javanas. We can maybe KJ. Kama. Kama Javanas. Sometimes we use Appana Javanas, like this. Appana Javanas. Okay, I think this is it. Magga, MG. Magga. Pala is, I think it was just PH. Pala. Okay, I think this is enough. So now, let's start with the Viti. So we had, okay, Bhavanga. Remember, Bhavanga comes from many Bhavangas, right? The flow of Bhavanga Chitta, which maintains life, right? Mula Chitta. Whenever the mind is not thinking about something, or we are sleeping, there is the Bhavanga Chittas continuously arising, right? Now, in order to see, or think, or hear something, we have to stop this Bhavanga, okay? So, this Bhavanga, when that impingement occurs, at some point, the Rupa will arise. And then we have Atita. Okay. So now, this is the Viti. This is the Viti. And here, I'll put the lifespan of the Rupa. So that's another thing we have to discuss. Lifespan. lifespan of realities. Also important for this chapter. Lifespan of realities. Okay, chitta, easy. First is chitta. Chitta and chitta sikas, they arise and vanish together, right? And chitta sikas, so they have the same lifespan, and it's always the same. Chittas and chitta sikas, they arise, so we have these three moments. Three kanas, three moment, three stages you could call, three stages. 3 moments, 3 stages. Uppada kana, the arising stage, uppada kana, we could call it maybe the arising stage. Or you can use this word genesis, the stage of genesis. Okay? Then you have titi kana, can call it sometimes the standing, we translate as standing, but maybe persisting is better, persisting stage. And then we have bhanga kana, which is what? Vanishing stage, maybe. Vanishing, disappearing stage, vanishing stage. Okay. Bhanga, falling stage. Okay. So you have these 3 stages of realities, right? 3 stages of reality. So now when it comes to chitta and chitta sikas, how long do these stages last? That's the thing. These stages are stages of realities, but they have different lengths, different lifespans, depending on the reality, right? So chitta and chitta sikas, they have uppada kana of 1 anu chitta kana. Okay, what is this? 1 anuchitta kana. Anuchitta kana. So the time it takes for a chitta to arise, persist, and vanish is 1 chitta kana. Okay? So that's like the time it takes here. Chitta kana is the let's say the period of time, the period it takes chitta to arise and perish, okay, and vanish. 1 chitta. So 1 chitta, let's say it arises, it persists, and it vanishes. And this period of time is chitta, 1 chitta kana. Right? Now this chitta kana has these 3 stages. We could divide it into 3 stages: uppada, titi, and bhanga. Now in the case of chitta and chitta sikas, uppada, titi, and bhanga, we can divide it, you see. You take this chitta kana and you divide it into 3, you see. So this is 1 anu chitta kana, CK, chitta kana, CK, okay? CK, chitta kana. So anu chitta kana, smaller chitta kana. Sub-my moment in English. Here another anu chitta kana, and here another anu chitta kana. Okay? So this means that 1 chitta kana equals 3 anu chitta kana. Okay? Okay, right? Now chitta and chitta sikas have their uppada kana lasting 1 anu chitta kana. Their titi kana lasting also 1 anu chitta kana. And their bhanga kana also lasting 1 anu chitta kana. Altogether we could say chitta and chitta sikas live for 1 chitta kana, or which is equal to 3 anuchitta kana. Okay? Easy, right? Now, rupas. Chitta chittasikas rupas. So, rupa. We have 28 rupas, right? 28 rupas. But they have different lifespan. Some of them, which are 22 of them, are what we could call maybe long-lived rupas. They live long. Okay? So 22, and then we have another group which is the remaining 6. Okay? The remaining 6. So these 6, actually this now we are focusing on these 22, but these 6 are vinyati rupas, remember them? Kaya vinyati, vachi vinyati. They are produced by chitta. Only 2. Yes. Don't mix them up with the virati. 3 virati.
But they are instincts.
Yeah. Vinyati and lakkhana. Lakkhana rupas. Remember 4 lakkhana rupas? Upachaya, santati, jarata, anicchata. Right? Okay. Lakkhana rupas. So these rupas, these 6, we could call them a short-lived. Short-lived. They live less than 17 mind moments. And the other ones are 22 are the remaining ones, the remaining rupas. Remaining rupas, they are long-lived, I'll call them long-lived. They have, now these 22, they have upada kana of 1 anuchitta kana. No, 1 chitta kana. No, 1 anuchitta kana is correct. 1 anuchitta kana. 1 anuchitta kana, right? Anuchitta kana, yes. And then titikana, 49 anuchitta kana, yes. And then bhanga, again, bandhanga kana, again 1 anuchitta kana. Okay, so these 22 long-lived rupas, they live altogether, how many? 51 anuchitta kanas, which is equal to 17 chitta kanas. Yes. Okay? 17 chitta kanas. Now, these short-lived rupas, this is most important now, but these short-lived rupas, we could say here, the vinyatis, they last only 1 chittakana. 1 chittakana. 1 chittakana, they vanish. They last as long as the chitta that produces them. So it's a very short-lived, you see. It lasts only 1 chittakana, while these last 17 chittakana. Okay? This is vinyati. Now, lakkhana rupas. Lakkhana rupas I'll put here. Lakkhana rupas. We have upachaya, santati, jarata, and anicchata. So here, upachaya is the first arising, right? 1 anuchitta kana. Santati also 1 anuchitta kana. Jarata lasts a long time, 49 anuchitta kana. And anicchata 1 anuchitta kana. Yeah. Because these 2, this is the first arising. This is the first arising. This is the first arising, remember? The upachaya is the first arising of a given rupa, and then the subsequent arising, which is also 1 anuchitta kana, is called santati. Yeah. Yes, while you're developing. No. They don't happen at the same mind moment. It's not like that, you know. This is why it can be one Anuchitakana. It's not like one mind moment. They
separate.
huh? Yeah, they are in different stages of development. No. Okay, so now these two are most important for the VTs now. So these are lifespan of rupas. Then Nibbana we don't need to say. Nibbana is a Kalamutaka. Kalamutaka, and it doesn't, it's we don't say arising, standing, perishing for Nibbana, right? Okay, Panyati also, no need to mention. So now let's go back, we can continue. Lifespans. So here we have, let's say, Rupa Ramana, okay? Rupa Aramana will arise. For example, the arising Upada of Rupa Ramana, okay? Then it will last 16 Chittakanas, right? 16 Chittakanas. And then at some point it will vanish on the 17th Chittakana. So this is like Titi, and the Bhanga. Okay? Just imagine one Rupa's lifetime. Okay? Now, when this Rupa arises, here we'll put the Chittas, taking it as object. Okay? So, if this is the arising lasts one Anuchittakana. So here is the first mind moment, okay? About here is the first mind moment. This is T. Yes. Before T, we can say it's Bhavanga, but you don't need to mention this. So before this Rupa arose, we have the flow of Bhavanga. Bhavanga Chittas, right? Now, when this Rupa arises, the moment it arises, the first Anuchittakana, it coincides with the arising of one Bhavanga, and this Bhavanga is represented as Atita Bhavanga, a past Bhavanga, before the impingement, okay? So Atita Bhavanga, over here, when the Rupa arose. Now, Rupa is too weak in the beginning. When it just arises, the Rupa is not strong enough to impinge. So the first mind moment, the Rupa does not impinge on the Chakupasada. Okay? But on the second mind moment of its lifespan, it can impinge. So let's suppose on the second mind moment here, this Rupa will impinge on Chakupasada and impinge on the Manodwara itself, and then the striking will happen. So the Bhavanga Chittas will be here, stricken. And it will vibrate and it will stop. So that takes two mind moments. So Bhavanga Chalana and Bhavanga Upacheda. Here it stops. Here the flow of Bhavanga stops. So if you see here, the Upada, and then this is the first mind moment, is too weak, first mind moment. And then on the second mind moment here, it impinges, for example. But I'll not put it here, I'll put it there, okay? Because I'll draw many VTs. I'll draw many VTs. Okay? So if it impinges on, maybe some numbers over here can help, no? This is the first mind moment. This is the second mind moment. Third mind moment, okay? Can you match? Because later I'll put more over here. Now, after Bhavanga stops, we have Panchadwara Vajana. Okay, third mind moment. And then we have Chakuvinyana, Sampatichana Chitta, accepting that object, Santirana Chitta, investigating that object, Votapana Chitta, making a decision, judging on that object, and then we have Javana Chittas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Javana Chittas. After Javana Chittas, we may have 2 Tadaramanas, and then finish, Bhavanga again. Okay. So now let's match it with the lifespan of the rupa. When it arises is marked here by T, Atita Bhavanga, past Bhavanga. On the second mind moment, this rupa impinges. So Bhavanga vibrates for 2 mind moments and stops. Okay? Now Panchadwara Vajana will be the 4th mind moment of this rupa. Chakovinyana will be the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th mind moment. You see? Right on that 17th mind moment, this rupa ceases, passes away. Okay? Let me stop it here. So let's say here, on this one, it vanishes. Finish. Bhanga here. Okay? Now, in this my moment, you see, this rupa has already vanished. Okay? It's not a present rupa anymore. Okay. So, this object is taken for a long time, you see. All these Viti Chittas, until here are Viti Chittas, are taking this object fully. So it appears more clearly than an object taken by less Chittas. So it's a more clear object. This is called Atimahanta Aramana. Okay? So we have objects Visaya Pavati. Okay, Visaya Pavati. One is Atimahanta. Atimahanta. Okay, we could say Atimahanta Aramana. Atimahanta. It's a very big object, or very, in this case, not actually big, it's not about the size. But it is taken by more chittas, and it's clearer to the mind. And you can say it impinges on the second mind moment. That's an important thing. So Atimahanta Ramana is a very clear object, very clear, maybe, okay, clear object. Okay, very clear object. And it impinges on one of the 5 dwaras, and it impinges on the second Chitta Kana. This is the most important thing about if you want to describe what is Atimahanta object. It impinges on the second mind moment. Remember, Rupa in the beginning of its life is too weak. If we had to kind of make like the Rupa, for example, sometimes we make like some graph, right? Like a graph. A graph like as time goes by, Chittakanas goes by, the strength of a Dhamma. So Rupas are a bit, when they arise, the moment they arise, they are a bit weaker, and then they become stronger, and then they gradually get older and vanish. Okay? So during this period, it is still weak. It doesn't impinge on the object. So it cannot be taken as object by the 5 doors. By the mind door, later we'll discuss, it can be taken as object. But here it does not impinge. During this period of the first Chittakana, it is too weak. Too weak. It cannot impinge. Okay? Then here it becomes stronger. Stronger with support of Pachajata Pacha. Remember? Pachajata Pacha supports the Rupas in the Titikana. Remember this? We just studied in Patana. Pachajata Pacha supports the Rupas. For example, Chitta and Chittasikas, when they arise, they support. They give some support. They strengthen the Rupas in the Titikana. So here in the Titikana, Rupas have this support of Pachajata. But they are still getting weaker and weaker and weaker as they approach Bhanga. Okay? So when during this period there is no impingement. No impingement. No impingement during this first Chittakana. So on the second Chittakana of its existence, it's possible it can impinge. So if it immediately impinges on its first chance, which is the second Chittakana, then Attimahanta object it will be. Okay? So it impinges on the second Chittakana. So let's go back to the VTs. VT. Okay, so this is Attimahanta. I'll put here Attimahanta. Attimahanta. Now, sometimes the object arises, but either it's very far, its relationship with Chakupasada, right? It has to impinge on Chakupasada. So you need certain conditions. If the object is very far, or if the object is very small, or if there is not enough light, for example, then it may not impinge immediately on Chakupasada. So it may impinge not on the second mind moment, but on the third, or on the fourth, or on the fifth, and so on. So then, shorter and shorter VTs will arise. So let's suppose Rupa arises still on the same moment, still here, but it does not impinge on the second mind moment, and it impinges on the third mind moment, for example. Okay? So impingement occurs here. So before the impingement, we put T to show the lifespan of the Rupa over here, see? Where it arose. This is before it arose, so this is Bhavanga. You understand why we put T? To show the beginning, when Rupa arose, okay? So TT, now impingement occurs here, so now everything is late. One Chittakana late, you see? Upacheda, then the VT will start Panchadwara Vajana, Chakku Vijnana, Sampatichana, Santirana, Votapana. Now we have javanas here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now Tadaramana, look what happens. Is this correct? Wait. Yes, Javanavara, right? So this Tadaramana, you see, if I put Tadaramanas, okay, here there is one principle about Tadaramanas. Remember, Tadaramana has like some principles, right? Must be Kama being, Kama object, must be Kama Javana. Then another thing about Tadaramana is that they always go in pairs. You cannot have just one Tadaramana by itself. So if Tadaramana were to arise here, this Tadaramana would have to take a past object. Yeah. So these chittas are all taking a present object that exists at that time. So in one viti, the object must be of the same kala. Okay, so this cannot happen. So because a second Tadaramana cannot occur, the first one does not occur either. Okay, so you must remember that Tadaramanas are always two. So if there is no Tadaramanas, then directly Bhavanga Chitta, you see? Bhavanga Chitta, okay? So you see the VT is shorter. But you see, if you count the Rupa arises on this moment, and it will vanish on this Bhavanga, you see? The Rupa doesn't vanish here, it vanishes together with the vanishing of this Bhavanga. Okay? Ask me a question if it's not clear. Maybe it's a little confusing sometimes. Cannot be two. Cannot be one. Only two Tadaramanas together. Why? Then there were some reasons. For example, one reason, the main reason here is because the second Tadaramana would have to take a past object. So that cannot happen. But why it has to be two, I don't know. Why it has to be two is like a law of Tadaramana. Always two registering consciousness. Yes. I don't know why. It cannot take the past object, no? Cannot change. Cannot change. It can take a past object in a Manodara Viti. In one Viti, it will not change from present to past. In this Viti is a present object. You see? So here the object is present, you see? Object is present during all this Viti, but in this moment, if we put Tadaramana, there must be two Tadaramanas. So the second, the object is already passed away. Okay, maybe my drawing is not perfect. Should be like here. Here, you should end over here, right? Over here, so like this. Okay, this is the Bhanga. So the second Tadaramana would have to take a past object, and this breaks the Chitta Niyama. Okay? So this doesn't happen. So because two Tadaramanas cannot happen, then no Tadaramana arrives. Okay? You understand? I just don't know why it has to be two Tadaramanas. This, I don't remember. I don't think we got any reason for that. Just Chitta Niyama, yes.
Let's say this second process
Second process,
is no Tadaramana.
no Tadaramana. Yes, no Tadaramana. Yes. So this object is cognized by less chittas, is called Mahanta. Mahanta. Not Ati Mahanta, this is Mahanta. Mahanta. So this is Mahanta number 1. Okay, Mahanta number 1. Now let's see if Rupa still arises on the same moment but impinges later. So let's continue over here. See? Na, now everything is late, da, and Panchadwara Vajana will be here. Chakku Vijnana, Sampatichana Santirana Votapana. Now, see, we have, until here, we have enough space for javanas, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 javanas, and the object passes away over here. So, finish. This is the second Mahanta object, you see? The same number of chittas, but it's one moment later. This is Mahanta number 2. So this is Visayapavati, we have Ati Mahanta, we have Mahanta. So how do we define Mahanta? It's not a very clear object, but it's a clear object. Maybe you could say it's a clear object. It impinges on the 5 doors. And here, it impinges on the second Chittakana. This was the first. What about this one? It impinges on the 3rd or 4th Chittakana. So, impinges on the 3rd or 4th Chittakana. Okay? Here you have to be precise which Chittakana it impinges on. Okay? Both 3 or 4. So because of that, you have 2 types of Mahanta. Only one type of Ati Mahanta. Right? Ati Mahanta has Tadaramana. There is enough time for Tadaramana. Mahanta, there is not enough time for Tadaramana, a little shorter. So he stops on the Javana. Right? So another thing you can learn is the Ati Mahanta with the Tadaramanas. We can call it Tadaramana Vara. Tadaramana Vara. This is the mental process that has Tadaramanas, ends with the Tadaramana. The Mahanta object will be Javana Vara. Javana Vara. It stops with the Javana. Okay? Now, let's see. Now, later. If it impinges even later on the 5th, then one more moment to stop. Panchadwara Vajana, PA. Chakkuvinyana, Sampatichana, Santirana, Votapana over here on the 11th. Votapana. Now, javanas also have this principle of javanas that they are almost always 7. Almost always 7. Okay? There are a few situations where it's not 7. For example, when during birth, sometimes it's less, or before death is less. It's less than 7. Or sometimes if you are unconscious, it could be less than 7 javanas. Or if you are drowned, if you have drowned, person who has drowned but not died yet, also may have, like, he's unconscious. And in some patiharya, patiharya? Patiharyas are miracles, no? We call maybe miracles in English. But for example, Yamaka Patiharya, Yamaka Patiharya? The twin miracle we call in English. Okay. So this is only done by Buddhas. They produce fire and water very fast from different parts of their body. Okay. So this type of miracle, the javanas occur less than 7 because it has to be very fast. Okay. So this can only be done by Buddhas. There is another patiharya, is Loka Vivarana. Loka Vivarana is one type of miracle that this can be done by Savakas, in which they make all the realms visible to each other. So human beings can see devas. Devas can see human beings and so on. Beings can see each other. Loka Vivarana. Patiharya. So during these very powerful and it requires a lot of mental power to do these patiharyas. So the javanas occur in less number. Otherwise, normally the javanas are 7. So here in this case is none of those cases. So the javanas must be 7 as a law of javana. There is a certain power of javanas. So, some javanas are stronger than others. So you need those 7 to occur, taking the object. If 7 cannot take the object, then no javanas will occur. Okay? So here we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until the bhanga. So there is not enough space, not enough time for 7 javanas. So what happens is another votapana occurs and another votapana occurs. You see? 2 votapanas occur again in the place of these javanas, and the viti stops. And now we only have bhavangas, you see? Bhavangas, bhavangas, bhavanga, bhavanga. You see? So this is shorter, even shorter. You are taking the object even less. So this is not mahanta, this is paritta. Paritta number 1. Paritta number 1. Okay? So because this viti stops on the javana, on the votapanas, you can call it votapanavara. Okay? Let's add it to our list. Here we had javanavara, votapanavara. Votapanavara. Okay. So now let's continue a little faster. If it impinges later, one moment later, let's see, we have da, upacheda, panchadvara vajana, chakkuvinyana, sampatichana, santirana, votapana over here. Now we have enough space, you see, for votapanas. Okay, votapana, votapana, you see? It's the same viti, but one moment later. Okay. Now we have 1 bhavanga, 2 and 3 bhavangas. This is paritta number 2. Paritta 2. Okay? Now 1 moment later. This I don't need to put, right? You understand, it's all T. Right? Up to here, right? Atita, right? Okay, I'll not fill it, no? Okay. If it impinges 1 moment later, na. Then we will have da over here, panchadvara vajana, chakku vinyana, sampatichana santirana votapana, votapana, votapana. Okay, finish the VT. 1 bhavanga, 2 bhavangas. The same. Parita number 3. The VT is actually the same, you see. Parita 3. 1 moment later. Now, here the striking happens here. Da, VT stops. Panchadvara vajana, chakku vinyana, sampatichana santirana, votapana, votapana, votapana. Okay. And then bhavanga. This is parita 4. Okay, parita 4. Now, one more. Na, da, chakku vinyana, panchadvara vajana, chakku vinyana, sampatichana santirana, votapana. We still have here votapana, votapana. Okay, you see? VT stops when the object passes away. Parita 5. Okay, no more space. Parita 5. Huh? 6. Yeah, one more. Okay, I'll put it here. Next one is here. Na, da. Then we have panchadvara vajana, chakku vinyana, sampatichana santirana, votapana, and votapana. Okay, so you see, this one, we still have votapanas, but we have 2 votapanas. So that's a minimum of votapanas. So that's another principle. You have tadaramanas, we have minimum, not minimum, always 2. Tadaramanas, always 2. Javanas, usually 7. Votapanas, we have 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3. Okay, 2 or 3. Huh? Yeah, if we count like 1. Okay. Can put 1, 2, or 3, right? 1 if it's a normal VT with javanas. 2 if it's votapanavara is a minimum. Or 3 if it's votapana with more time, right? Votapanavara with more time. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Maximum 3, okay? Maximum 3. But if it's votapanavara, a minimum of 2. This is what you have to remember. This 2, you see? Votapanavara. Vara. This is a minimum 2, maximum 3. Okay? In the Votapanavara, there is no just one Votapana. Okay? Okay. So now we have finished Atimahanta, Mahanta, and Parita. This is Parita number 6. Parita number 6. Okay. So in our Visyapavati, we have Parita. Okay, here, Parita. Like a slight object, a small object. So this one, very clear. This one's clear. This one is not clear, okay? Unclear. Unclear object. This one, it's like, here the comparison is like a dream, you know? When you have a dream, you can kind of, you know you've seen something but it's not clear. You cannot remember it clearly, right? So it's dream-like. Dream-like. Okay? The Parita. So it's a little unclear object. And it impinges also on one of the 5 doors. And here, impinges on which my moments? You tell me. Impinges on 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. Okay. On 5th, 6th, yes. 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, chitta kana. Okay. So because of that, there are 6 types, 6 paritta. Now we'll need a new chart. Here. Okay. So now let's say the object arose and let me put over here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So let's make it pass away over here, see? Okay. Here, number 1, okay. So now, this is all T, right? T, because we have done this already. The Mahanta, Ati Mahanta, Mahanta, and Parittas. So now, it will impinge on the 11th, right? We just did, you see the definition here. Definition. Here. Until the 10th, chitta kana is paritta, right? So now 11th. If it impinges on 11th, what should I put over here? Na. Okay, na. Okay, not Panchadwara Vajana on the 11th. No, it impinges, so it needs 2 chitta kana to stop. So da, and it stops. And then here, you would have Panchadwara Vajana, right? But look what happens, Panchadwara Vajana, Chakku Vijnana, Sampatichana, Santirana, Votapana. And then the object vanishes. So this cannot happen, okay? Not just one Votapana by itself like that. If there is not even one Votapana, then even no Viti Chittas arise. Okay? There is no purpose of having Panchadara Vajana, Sampatichana, Santira, even the Chakku Vijnana. None of them arise if there is not even a Votapana. Okay? At least 2 Votapanas. So none of these arise. It's too late for this. So if there is not even a Panchadwara Vajana, then the Bhavanga Chittas do not stop. You see? Na. So what happens is you have just 2 vibrations, 2 na, and then Bhavanga. Bhavanga, 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 and the object passes away. See? So even this, we call it a Viti, but there is not even Viti Chittas in it, right? But there was an impingement, something happened, but it was just too slight, too late, too weak, right? No. Okay? So this is called Moghavara. So we had Javanavara, Votapanavara, and then we have either Bhavangavara, or you can call it, I think it was Moghavara. Moghavara. Okay? It's Moghavara, it's like empty, useless. Now, if it impinges later, you will just have this na over here, another na, and Bhavangas, you see? Right? Here are T, here are Bhavangas. Here you will have na over here, another na, and Bhavangas. Here you will have T. Then na over here on the 14th. Let me put on the 15th. On the 16th. Like that. Bhavanga. This is T. This is 6. Also 6. This is also T. Okay. Now this only na, and then Bhavangas would be here nothing, no? Okay. So how many here? This is Atiparita object. Atiparita 1. This will be Atiparita 2, Atiparita 3, Atiparita 4, Atiparita 5, Atiparita 6. So this is the minimum, you see. At least 2 vibration of Bhavanga. There is not a case where only one Bhavanga vibrates. Even in the Buddha, during the Yamaka Patiharya, which is the fastest possible, there is 2 Bhavangas between VTs. Okay? 2 Bhavangas between VTs. For the Buddha, during the Patiharya, this Yamaka Patiharya. So this is the very minimum, 2 vibration of Bhavangas. But for other beings, there is much more Bhavangas between VTs. Okay, Venerable Sariputta, remember, was 16. 16 between VTs.
When we wake up, also 16. During the.
No, we have more than 16. Oh, yes.
Even we wake up like.
More. It's not mentioned, but probably much more actually.
Even not sleep, even like a.
Yes. Now, for example, you have VTs. No, you're seeing, you're hearing. VTs are occurring. So between VTs, there is a certain number of Bhavangas. But for beings who are very fast, very clear-minded, they will have less Bhavangas. So they have a faster mental process. It doesn't mean that Chitta occurs faster. Chitta's last one Chittakana, but their mental processes have less time in between, less Bhavangas in between, and they maybe understand things faster, so the mental process seems like faster. You understand? So in the Patiharya, for example, to make fire come out from one finger, you need an entire VT, right? You need the whole process, right? Determination, remember? You have to enter the jhana, right? So it takes time. And then to make water come out from the other finger, you need, again, a different process. So for doing that almost at the same time, it must be very fast. So that's as fast as mind can do it, is with a minimum of 2 Bhavangas between VTs. So that's for the Buddha in this Patiharya. For other beings, our mind is not fast enough to be able to do that. This is why this miracle can only be done by Buddhas. They've developed themselves fully, no? So here, this is the very minimum. Atiparita object. So there is a minimum of 2 chalana. So that's another principle we can put here. Bhavanga. These are finished. Votapana. Here we had these principles. Tadaramana, Javana, Votapana. And the chalanas are minimum. Not minimum. It's always 2. Always 2. Why do I put always 2? Normally we say chalana and upacheda, right? Upacheda is also a chalana, but it's called upacheda because that's the mind moment in which it cuts. It's cut. So if it doesn't cut, then this is called na. So then it becomes 2 nas. Okay? 2 nas. So these are atiparitas. Let's go to the definition. Okay, here atiparita, I'll put over here. Atiparita. Atiparita is how can we say, it's not unclear, is the object is not seen. The object is not seen. Okay? It's not that it's unclear. This is unclear. This is not seen at all. And it strikes one of the 5 doors as well. And it impinges on we can say, on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th or 16th Chittakana. I think it's 11th. 10 is Parita. You see here? 10 Parita. This is Atiparita, 11th. Sometimes the book is wrong. Yeah, sometimes the book is wrong. Huh? You can put this Bhavanga if you want, yes. No. Here, before this T is always Bhavangas. If you want to, but we don't need to write that. Like you put these, you have to put to show when the object arose and when the Vatu arose.
I get like second week of first month.
So I remember after our exams, Bante, I discussed with him. He said, yeah, it's better if you have the habit of putting Bhavanga before and after. So for example, you put a Bhavanga here, and then you write whatever you have to do, and a Bhavanga to finish, like after the object has passed. But it's not necessary to show that. But you can do that if you want, okay? You put a Bhavanga, and then you put the VT you have to put, and you finish with another Bhavanga. Okay, you can do that.
Should be the fourth and fifth.
Yes. Another na. These Bhavangas I add because the object still existing, see, just to show that, no? Or you can just put like what I was doing here. Like this, right? Okay, right? So, these, we have done this, okay, Visayapavati, we have finished. These are 4 Visayapavati for the Panchadwara Vitis, the Varas, principles, Vitis. Okay, so, okay. So we had, you see, 6, 1 Ati Mahanta, 2 Mahanta, 6 Parita, 6 Atiparita, Atiparita. So altogether we have how many? See? 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. So these 15 are Panchadwara Vitis. 15 Vitis, but all of those could be just Chakku. Yes. So we had 15 Visayapavati. Visayapavati, right? 15 Visayapavati. And each of these can happen for each of the 5 doors, right? So we have 15 times 5 doors. Altogether we have 75. 75 we could say Panchadwarika Vitis. Panchadwarika Vitis. Yes. So how many Vitis are there based on the Chakudwara? 15. Do you understand? Huh? No, 46 Viti Chittas. Those are Chittas in the Dwara. Okay? But how many types of Viti? That's a different question. Not how many Chittas can arise in the Viti, but how many types of Viti, different types of Viti. Okay? depends on, when did it strike? When did it strike? The age of the object, you could say, the lifespan of the object. Okay? So, 15 Chakudwarika Vitis. 15 Chaku Dwarika Vitis. Another 15 Sota Dwarika Vitis. Another 15 Ghana Dwarika Vitis. 15 Jivha Dwarika Vitis. And 15 Kaya Dwarika Vitis. Okay? So altogether 75 Pancha Dwarika Vitis. Okay? So 75 types of Viti we have learned today. Okay, 75 types of Viti. Okay, I have a question for you. Why there are 15 Chakudwarika Vitis? Huh? Why there is no 16? Why no 16 Chakudwarika Vitis? Why not 14, 16? Why 15 Chakudwarika Vitis? Chitta Niyama, right? Chitta Niyama.
Because we have
5 Dwara, but that doesn't justify the 15, right?
Because we have
Why 15? Why not 16 or 17?
Bhavanga Atita at first.
But the Bhavanga Tita doesn't justify it, no?
Because of Chitta is the lifespan of Rupa
Ah.
is say only 17. And then
Yes.
they start only the second to 16.
Yes, that's the reason. Yes, that's the reason. In the first mind moment, Chitta only, Rupa only lasts 17 mind moments. In the first one, it's too weak. It cannot impinge. So that cannot happen. Then on the last one, it's also too weak. It cannot impinge. So then only 15 are left. From 17, remove those two, only 15 are left.
only TT.
TT? What is TT?
Only Tikana of the Rupa.
Titi. Only during the Titi? Yes. Yes, only during the persisting moment. Yes. Okay. So there is one thing I don't know if you might have noticed, but we said that the arising of Rupa, the Upada of Rupa, how long does it last? Do you remember how long does it last? 1 Anuchitakana, right? Upada of Rupa. And then it enters Titi stage. But, so you see 1 Anuchitakana and then it enters Titi stage. But we said that in the first Chittakana it doesn't impinge. Did you notice this? 1 Anuchittakana is the Upada, and then it enters Titi moment, but we have another Anuchittakana here. You see, another Anuchittakana here to make 1 Chittakana. So during this first Chittakana, it does not impinge. So even in the Titi moment, in the first 2 Anuchittakanas of the Titi moment, it doesn't impinge. You don't understand? This is Anuchittakana, this is Chittakana.
Coming but not reach.
Hmm?
Coming on the way, not reach.
One Chitakana is arising, yes. And second Chitakana is Kriti and third Chitakana is passing.
Titi. No, this is Rupa. This is Rupa, not Chitta. Yes. If you draw Chitta, this is Rupa. This is Rupa. Chitta and Chetasikas would be, see, one Anuchitta for Upada, one Anuchitta for Titi, and one Anuchitta for Bhanga. So this altogether, one Chitta, right? But now, Rupa, one Chitta for Upada, 49 for Titi, and 1 for Bhanga. But in the Upada only lasts one Anuchitta, but it doesn't impinge until here, you see? It cannot impinge until after one Chitta. So there is one thing that Chitta and Rupa, they must be, they must be synchronized in order for the Viti to happen. There must be some certain amount of synchrony. You know this word, synchrony? Synchrony, do you know this word? Synchrony? Santavach? Synchrony? You need a synchrony. I think it's with a Y, synchrony. Yes, not sure if this is with an I or a Y, synchrony. Please check this word, synchrony. There is a certain amount of synchrony, is like moving together in harmony. Synchronized is the adjective. Synchronized. Synchrony is the noun. Synchrony? No, not necessarily. They act together, or synchrony. Things occur at the same time. Yes. Synchrony. So, okay, look at this. Synchrony, okay. A certain synchrony is required for this Viti to occur. You know, 4 types of rupas, right? 4 types of rupas. What are the 4 types of rupas? One is Kamaja Rupa. Okay, Kamaja, Chittaja, Utuja, and Aharaja. Okay, how often do these rupas arise? How often? Now you know how to calculate time. How to calculate time. Time is a concept, but we can use it. We can use it. So using this measurement of time, the ultimate measure of time is Anuchitta. The ultimate measure of time. Okay? From here to here, nothing can arise here. Do you understand? From this moment, okay, this is one Anuchitta, right? The moment it takes consciousness as arising, the arising moment. Or it takes also Rupa, a rising moment of Rupa, right? It lasts this certain time. So this is an ultimate, you could say an ultimate or the shortest measurement of time. From this to this, during this one Anuchitta, no Rupa can arise over here. Do you understand? No Chitta can arise over here. Only here or here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Actually, the Rupa already arrives, but the Chitta not strike.
No, the Rupa strikes. Rupa strikes. Because the Chitta arises over here, you know, all this time is already passing away, you see? You understand this? Between one Anuchitta and the next, you see? No, nothing can occur over here. Nothing can arise over here. Okay? So one Chitta arises, you see, here, then it vanishes. Next chitta will arise over here, you see? Chitta will not arise over here. You understand? Okay? Now, in anuchitta khanas, if you think of these rupas, how often do they arise? Chitta and chittasikas arise every chitta khana. Right? Chitta and chittasikas. Chitta and chittasikas. They arise, okay, synchrony, okay, yes, synchrony. The, how often dhammas arise. How often dhammas arise? Chitta and chittasikas arise every chitta khana. Every chitta khana. Not every anuchitta khana. Do you understand? This one anuchitta khana, chitta arise over here. You cannot have another chitta arising after one anuchitta khana. Do you understand? Okay. But rupa, what about rupa? Kamaja rupa arises every anuchitta khana. Kamaja rupa arises every anuchitta khana, not chitta khana. So when one rupa arises, goes to titi stage and vanishes, one kamaja rupa has arisen, two kamaja rupa has arisen, and three kamaja rupa has arisen. Huh? Not pass away, just arise. Yes.
So rupa is very fast.
No, rupa lasts longer, but they arise more often. You see? Every anuchitta khana, kamaja rupa is arising. Chitta jarupa. What about chitta jarupa? Chitta is produced by chitta. Only arising in the upadakana. Yeah. Chittaja, they arise every chittakana in the upadakana. Every chittakana in the upadakana. So if we put, for example, let's say this is chitta arise, vanish. Arise and vanish, right? Rise and vanish. So chitta jarupas arise over here, you see? Together. Chitta jarupas arise. Of course, one chitta jarupa lasts 17 Maya moments, you see? The next generation will arise with this one, and it will last 17 Maya moments. The next one will arise with this one, and it will last 17 Maya moments. Do you understand? Chitta jarupa. Chitta jarupa. Huh? Now the uttu jarupa is also every anuchitta khana, and ahara jarupa also every anuchitta khana. Every anuchitta khana. Every anuchitta khana. Okay? Chitta and chitta chittasika? Or chitta and chittasika? Chittaja and chitta chittasika arise every chittakana. Right? And sometimes some chittas do not produce chitta rupa, so then no rupas will arise on that chittakana, right? Remember this? Some chittas produce chitta rupa, some do not, right? Remember this? Comes in our exams recently, right? 10 vijnana do not produce chitta jarupa. 4 arupa vipaka do not produce chitta jarupa. Patisandhi chittas do not produce chitta jarupa. And arahanta chuti doesn't produce chitta jarupa. And chittas in arupa bhumi do not produce chitta jarupa. Right? So during those chittakhanas, there won't be any chitta jarupa arising. Okay? So, in order for the viti to occur, for example, Rupa Ramana, we see an object at a distance. Okay, for example, you see this table. This is Uttuja Rupa, right? Uttuja Rupa arises every Anuchittakana, right? Every Anuchittakana, correct? Every Anuchittakana, one generation of Uttuja Rupa arises in this body of a table. Okay? Now, for you to see this Vana, the Viti has to occur, right? Chakudvarika Viti has to occur. So, it has to be in synchrony with Chitta. Because imagine, this is Chitta, arise, stand, and pass away, okay? The Rupa Kalapa, which is the Vana, which has the Vana Rupa, must also arise together with the Chitta. Because one Anuchittakana before, there is also one arising. One Anuchittakana later, there is also another arising, right? You understand? Like this. So only this one, which is in synchrony with the Chitta, can be taken. This one cannot impinge. This one cannot impinge. No Viti will arise taking these rupas as object. Do you understand? So this is a little difficult. Okay. Chitta arises, right? There is a stage, Upadakana. It lasts this period of time lasts one Anuchittakana, right? Right? Then Chitta goes through the Titi stage and goes through the Bhanga stage. Each of these is also one Anuchittakana. Okay? 3 Anuchittakanas is the lifespan of a Chitta. Okay. Right? Now, Rupa can arise. For example, Uttuja Rupa will arise. One generation will arise here together with this Chitta at the same time, for example. And it will last 17 Maya moments. Okay? It arose at the same time. Okay? But Aharaja Rupa, Uttuja Rupa arises every Anuchittakana. So another one will arise over here, you see? Another Rupa will arise over here and it will last 70 Maya moments. Another Rupa will arise over here and it will last 70 Maya moments. You understand? Every Anuchittakana, Uttuja Rupas are arising. Not vanishing, they don't just last Anuchittakana, they arise. And then another arise and another arise, and each of them lasts 51 Anuchittakanas. 17 Chittakanas. Okay? But some of them are in synchrony, you see, they arise at the same time as consciousness. Okay? Another thing is the Vatu Rupa. For the impingement of the Vana in the Uttuja Rupa and the Chaku Pasada to occur, they must be of the same age. They must be of the same age. So you have one group of Kalapas which has the Vana Rupa, for example, the Uttuja Rupa of the table, for example, has Vana Rupa arising, right? Another Rupa arising is the Rupa of the eye, Chakupasada. Chakupasada is Kamaja Rupa, right? And it arises every Anuchittakana arises. Every Chakupasada arises also every Anuchittakana, you see? Arises every Anuchittakana. So I want you to understand this. For this Vana to impinge on Chakupasada, they must be of the same age. This is why I use the word synchrony. They must be synchronized. What happened? It stopped? Can you, maybe battery or something is gone? No memory, right? Yeah, memory is full. Okay. Okay. Okay? Do you understand this? Okay. So, Chakupasada and Vana must be of the same age. Okay? They must be of the same age. So, for example, this Vana, even when in the Titikana later, it cannot impinge on this Chakupasada. They arose at different time. You understand? And because of that, it will also not affect the Chitta. It will not impinge on Manodwara either. So there must be a certain synchrony of Dhammas for this Viti to occur. Otherwise, imagine, for example, imagine there was impingement, and then the Viti occurs, and then you have Javanas for example, and then you have, let's say, 2 Tadaramanas, right? But in the middle of the Tadaramana, the Rupa disappears. You see, we discussed all those Vitis, and the Rupa always arises together with the Chitta, and it vanishes together with some Chitta, right? It vanishes together with the Chitta, not in the middle of a Chitta. Not in the Upada moment of a Chitta. No, in the Bhanga moment of a Chitta, the Bhanga moment of the Rupa occurs. So this shows there is a synchrony. Yes. And since Rupas, 3 of the 4 types, they arise every Anuchittakana, many of them cannot impinge on Chakupasada, Sotapasada, Ganapasada. You understand? Only a certain few number of Rupas you will be able to see with your eyes. Of all the Rupas that occur, for example, on this table, you will only see a small percentage. You will not see all the Vanarupas occurring at that time. You understand? So if you think between the arising and vanishing of a Rupa, how many Anuchittakanas occur? How many Anuchittakanas occur between the arising and vanishing of one Rupa? One Rupa means one Rupa Kalapa. No, 49 is the Titi. 51 is the entire lifespan, right? 51 Anuchittakana, right? 51 Anuchittakana, right? So, during this time, you see, you will have one is arise, and until it vanishes, another 50 will arise. Another 50 Rupas, generations of Rupas will arise. You see? During the life of this Rupa, imagine this is a person. Okay, this is a person. He lives 51 years. Okay? And every year, someone is born. Every year, someone is born. So, by the time he dies, 50 other people will exist. Do you understand? No, just imagining, okay? Okay? Yeah. Okay? So, only of these 51, so you have 51 Anuchittakana, you have 51 generations of Rupa. Only one of them will impinge and will produce the Viti. So this means that of all the possible Rupas that you could see at any one moment, because one Chaku Dwara Viti takes Rupa Ramana, right? But it takes many Rupa Ramanas at the same time. Right? Do you know this? The number of Rupas that impinge? Okay, another thing. For Rupa Ramana, many impinge at the same time. For Saddharamana, many impinge at the same time. For Gandha, Rasa, and Pottabha, only one impinges. Only one impinge. This means only one kalapa impinge on the, let's say, kaya dwara. So whenever you feel the strike of a kalapa with the kaya pasada, only one kalapa is actually being taken as by kaya vijnana, by the kaya dwara viti, kaya dwarika viti chittas. But in the case of the rupa ramana, many impinge. Otherwise, for example, now I'm looking at you, so many kalapas arising, rupa kalapas arising in your body and outside of your bodies, right? My Chakkodwarika Vitis can take many of these at the same time. Otherwise, you would not be able to have an image, a full image. If you could only see one kalapa at a time, you would need so much time to see an image, right? You understand? It's like on a screen, you have many small pixels. So in order to get a picture, you need to see many pixels at the same time, right? You don't just see one pixel and then another pixel and another. It would be too much. It would take too long to form an image. No, Chakkodwarika Vitis, they can many impinge at the same time. Okay? But all of them, here is the point, all of them must have arisen together. Do you understand this point? They must be in synchrony. Those that arose one anuchitta kana later or before, they will not impinge. So, in other words, you are only able to see with one viti 1/51th. You understand this? 51th of the present rupas. Here Vana, for example. Saddha also the same. Do you understand? 1/51th. What is the percentage? What is the percentage? 1 divided by 51. 1 divided by 51. Can you do on the calculator? 1 divided by 51. One divided by 51. 0.0190607, okay, etc. You see? This is a percentage. So, of... Huh?
That is just division after we multiply by 100, then it comes into percentage.
1/51th.
1 by 51.
Yes.
100%. We have to convert that into percentage.
Percentage.
Into 100%.
So what is the percentage?
1.96.
1.96.
From
1.96.
that, we can just imagine
1.96%, yes, percent. 1.96%, yes. So you can only see 1.96% of all the present rupas. Do you understand? The other 99.04% you cannot see. So 99% of the world you cannot see. You're only seeing this less than 2%. Little less than 2% of all the present rupas. So just think for a moment, in a flash of time, all the rupas that arise here that you are able to see, of all of them that are existing, you can only see 1.96%. Do you understand? Because they must be in phase. They must have arisen together. Okay? So it's enough for today, no? Okay.